Welcome and thank you for watching the very first episode of the Milestone podcast. I'm your host, Justin. I'm here as longtime team member, Stephen Waldrep. Stephen, thank you for joining me today.
Absolutely.
The whole purpose of this podcast is we want to share what happens at Milestone with the people outside and with everyone within the walls who's part of the team, and we can share our culture, how things actually happen, how we can grow and just mature as technicians, managers, whoever works here. We want to show and share that culture and what Milestone does for our people and for our team members, our customers, and everyone else. So, like I said, thank you for joining me here, Stephen. I know we've known each other for a long time now.
Yeah.
I didn't think there was anyone else more deserving on top of my head that should be on our very first episode here at Milestone. So thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
So let's just jump right into it. First, tell me, how did you get into the trades?
Okay.
How did you end up at Milestone? And then how long have you been here now?
So I've been here, I'm on my 14th year, be 15 in December.
Wow.
My dad's an electrician, so naturally kind of got in the trades there, working in the summers, doing stuff. And then how I got with Milestone is I was working with my dad, just kind of doing our own thing, a little small mom and pop shop. And I've got quite a few kids and just needed to get a little bit more going. And Dad was kind of at the end of his career and wasn't working as much, wanted to start later and get off earlier. And that really wasn't paying the bills. So I went home one day and looked through the yellow pages and saw an ad for Milestone, which I live in East Texas. I live out past Canton. I saw that and I called in, and Sonia actually was the one that answered the phone. And she said, "Yeah, we're hiring, send us your resume." And I was like, "My resume?" And in the trades for so many years, your resume was your license, right? So I sent in a resume, and they called me in for an interview, and I actually didn't get hired right off the bat. Then come to find out, my aunt and uncle went to church with y'all, and my uncle talked to your dad. Then Mark made a phone call, had me come in, and we had a private conversation. And he gave me an opportunity, and I have a little bit of a colored past, so he gave me a shot, and the rest is history, man.
Yeah. Did you know that you wanted to be in the trades growing up? Like, was that on your mind? Because I know for me, for example, that was the last thing I wanted to do.
Yeah. For me, like, college really wasn't something I really wanted to do. Played sports, just like you, baseball. And then school was, I don't know, I got bored in school. Yeah. So it didn't challenge me, and I liked working with my hands. I wanted to be doing something. So I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but started working with my dad in the summertime and kind of fell in love with the puzzle part of it, with the electrical work. You know, you get to fix stuff, something's broken, you got to figure out what it is. I really like the aspect of being able to fix something somebody else couldn't.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So that's what I liked about it, and I don't know, I was good at it. So, you know, the way I was taught and raised is, if you're good at something, put more effort into it.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously worked out for you. 15 years now. Speaking of that, so being here 15 years, that's really uncommon for a lot of businesses, a lot of companies have team members stick around that long. What kind of opportunities did Milestone present to you, or growth opportunities, whether it's training, communication, technical skills? What kind of opportunities were you provided to be here for 15 years and move up to the company?
That list is long, man. Obviously, constantly being challenged. Like a lot of guys that I work with today, and myself included, when I feel like I've conquered something, then I'm constantly looking for what's next. And Milestone's always been able to provide something that's next, like give you an additional challenge to see if you can not necessarily conquer, but kind of conquer that, and reach that next level. And you know, obviously I did electrical when I first came in. I'm the senior call-by-call coach now in air conditioning heating. So I went back to school in 2015 for a year straight, 4 hours a night, 4 nights a week, after working here during the day, 40 hours still. And then I transferred over to HVAC. So then I was challenged to try to start from the bottom in a different department and work my way back up. I don't know, that part's always intrigued me. And I think one of the special things about Milestone is that no matter who you are, if you're the right fit, the right culture, all that stuff, no matter what your background is, we want you here.
Yeah.
So I think that's a unique ability that Milestone brings that nobody else does.
I agree with that. And so you mentioned you started in electrical, now you're in HVAC. What kind of influenced that decision?
Kind of the same thing. Like I was considered probably one of the top 5 or so technicians in electrical for the years that I was in there, and I wanted to do something different, and then also changing panels and overhead services and rewiring and digging ditches. It's a little bit more difficult on your body, and playing baseball and doing the different things I did when I was younger, I didn't really take care of my body that much. I got a bad back and got some other health issues and things like that. And HVAC gave me an opportunity to do something that wasn't as strenuous on my body. It's hot in the attic, don't get me wrong, but I ain't pulling wire 60 foot across it and doing all those things. So.
I agree. I've been in HVAC, I've been in electrical. Being an electrical apprentice was definitely not an easy cakewalk.
Well, I apologize that I put you through that.
It's all good. So, I mean, going back and looking at those opportunities, seeing yourself where you started the first day here at Milestone, or even with your father, what is one piece of advice you would give others or yourself if you had to start it all over again?
I think more to others. I think I picked up on this pretty early on. This is a career. This isn't a job. And it's not something that's going to be an overnight success. You have to have time and see these situations to know how to handle them.
Yeah.
The more customers you're in front of, the more different personalities you deal with, the better you are suited to handle those situations. Like everybody wants to get to the top tier, but nobody wants to put the work in to get there. And it's not something where you just walk through the door and in 6 months you're top tier.
Yeah. No, I will say it's one of the few positions I think that in the trade you have to earn your way. Like you have to learn the ropes. You can't come in here and not know what you're doing. Customers will soon, very, very soon find out. Management will find out because that customer is going to call in about you.
Absolutely.
You can't really fake your way through the trades.
I think another key thing about the trades that most people don't realize is, especially in residential service work and things like that, if you want to raise, it's up to you. It's not up to anybody else. It's about you putting forth more skills and learning more skills and investing in yourself, and you can create that extra income for yourself at the job you're at and not have to take on a second job.
Yeah.
So that's a key point.
I agree with that. So if I was on the fence about getting into the trades, or I'm currently in the trades, what piece of advice would you give me?
Well, first I'd want to ask a couple questions. So the first couple questions I'd ask, do you like working with your hands? Do you like dealing with people? Do you like fixing things? Like problem solving? That'd be the key things. But as far as like some tips, just don't rush it and soak it in, because one day you're going to be, if you take this career on for a little bit, you'll be sitting in a room full of people similar to this, and you'll be reminiscing about some of the good times that you had and some of the crazy things you had to do, and just different scenarios you've put yourself through, and soak it all in and enjoy it, man. Life's a ride, and just hang on and go for it.
So you've been here for a while. You've been in the trades. What is what's a key myth that you've seen, like maybe new guys starting the trades and they get in and they're like, wow, this is not what I thought it was? Something that most people don't think of.
You spend a lot of time alone.
Yeah.
I think that's something that, if I was to say that's a downside for a lot of people, is that you spend a lot of time alone. You're in a van or in a truck by yourself a lot. You're on these jobs by yourself a lot. So you have to be okay with that, and then having conversations. I think another myth is that blue collar is not finesse work. Yeah. It is finesse. What we do is significantly finesse. It's about being elite at whatever you do.
Yeah, so you have to be locked in at all times.
100%.
Long days, long hours. Like you said, mentioning being alone, that was honestly the worst part about it when I was in the field. I hated being alone. I had no one to talk to. It was just weird. It was the first time in my life where I was just basically on my own little island every day. Once you get used to it, it's actually pretty nice. But that's a big adjustment, I would say.
Absolutely. I think another key point that one of my favorite parts about doing service work and things like that is I got to meet somebody new and do something different every single day.
Yeah.
I've done commercial and industrial work, and I mean, in high school I worked at a pizza place. I've done retail, all that stuff. And that was the most boring part about going and doing the exact same thing at the exact same place every day.
Yeah.
And I think for people that doesn't sound appealing to you, then the trades is obviously a very good opportunity for you, because you're constantly doing something different and learning skill sets that are vital to doing things at home too.
Yeah.
So
no, I completely understand that. So you were speaking about customers, meeting new people every day, being able to experience, new interactions every single day with people. Do you have one that just like sticks out to you? Like, hey, this was like a core memory with a customer?
Man, there's quite a few. I met one of the ones that sticks in my mind pretty good is I met a gentleman. He lived in Rowlett on this side of the lake.
Yeah.
And pulled up to the house. I kind of got there a little bit later, and there was a old 90s model Procraft boat out in front. And I just got to talking to him about the boat because I was kind of looking for a boat. One of my kids was wanting to get on the fishing team in school.
Yeah.
And we started talking, and he was telling me some stories about when they used to live in Louisiana, and he used to take that boat out in the ocean. This is a bass boat, right? So that's not something most people would take out in the ocean. And he would take it out in the ocean and stuff, and he ended up having some health issues and wasn't able to use the boat much anymore. And I got a situation where we were taking care of him, and I asked him, I said, well, how much would you want for it? And he kind of looked at his wife and looked back at me, and he said, just come pick it up tomorrow.
That's awesome.
So he gave me the boat just because I think it's the fact of being able to sit there and just have conversations with people. And, you know, sometimes people just want somebody to care about them as a person. And I think that's the part that I enjoyed the most. And I've got a ton of stories like that, but that one sticks out just because obviously that guy thought it was that I made an impact enough that he was helping my son get on the fishing team and give me a boat.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
That's awesome. I think that speaks a lot about who we are at Milestone, that we give you the opportunity to have that relationship with the customer. We're not asking you to go into the home, do your job, get out. Like, we want you to build that relationship and have a customer for life.
Having those interactions with them, especially a lot of times we go into older customers' houses and things like that. And I think about like my grandparents, you know, getting later in life, you don't get to go by and see them as often and different stuff like that. So we just want to try to be as much of a blessing to people when we go in there as we can.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I preach to all the guys is, man, take the time, get to know the customer, have that interaction, man. Like, soak up some of the knowledge that some of those people, listen to the stories. It's awesome.
Yeah, you never know what kind of impact you can have on them or the impact they'll have on you if you just take the time and actually serve them and not just feel like it's a job.
100%.
Yeah. So, I mean, to kind of piggybacking off of that, what makes Milestone different? What's the culture like here?
Oh,
like,
man.
I know a lot of people speak about it. You see the reviews, stuff on Indeed, how it's a great place to work. It's a fun place to work. But what truly makes it different?
So this is going to be cliche, and people have heard it 100 times, but you're not just a number here. The whole hiring process, and from when you get hired on, and then we go through the culture week, and you do the scavenger hunt where you get everybody's name, and then you got to go through the entire company and try to get everybody's signature and find out like some unique thing about them, like what's their nickname or where did they grow up or what's their favorite hobby, these kind of things. That's the stuff that separates it. And I tell people when we do interviews and then we do a little walk around, and I hope this doesn't come off the wrong way, but like it's almost cultish. It's because like nobody has ever really seen a place like this where everybody's truly happy to be here.
Yeah.
Like no place is perfect, but I can probably think on both hands however many times I've just woke up and not wanted to come to work. Like,
it's probably opening day for hunting season.
Every year.
Season.
Yeah. So, yeah, that one's for sure. That definitely. But man, so obviously Gus and your dad, they're the ones that created that culture. Obviously, when I started 14 years ago, very much smaller than what we are now. And we come to the shop 7 a.m. every morning, and the camaraderie that was built, that brotherhood that was built, and you get a phone call from somebody or a Nextel two-way radio. Actually, we didn't have cell phones then.
I remember those days.
Saying that they had a job that having to help somebody get their service, put back together or something late at night, and you'd have 2 or 3 other guys and trucks show up to go over there and help them and get it knocked out. And we weren't getting paid any extra to do that. It was just because you knew that you might be that guy tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So that's the type of stuff that we try to keep going. And yeah, we're a large company, but we're still privately owned, and we keep that mom and pop feel as best we can.
Yeah, as best we can. It's obviously very hard.
Extremely hard.
The bigger we get, but I would say we've done a really good job at trying to keep those core
values
we have in the company. So
100%.
So if there was like one selling point on like why somebody should join Milestone, what would that be? Besides obviously the culture, like what do you think we do best? What are we elite at?
Everything. That's not being facetious or overstating it. We will challenge you to be a better human tomorrow than you are today. And not in a bad way, because everybody around here is constantly trying to get better.
Yeah.
The people that work here genuinely care about everybody here. We genuinely care about our community. We do as much as we can for as many people as we can. Man, we give guys second chances, third chances, fourth chances.
That's the truth.
Things like that. And we see goodness and greatness in everybody, and we do everything we possibly can to bring that out of people. This place gave me an opportunity at life that ain't no way anybody ever thought that I'd have. And my sole purpose now is to try to give that opportunity to as many people as possible.
Yeah.
So the guys that I work with and I get to lead, I hold them accountable, but I hold them accountable because that's what it takes to get to that level. And having that self-discipline and seeing the bigger picture and being able to take your family on a vacation that you never thought you'd be able to have, or buy the house that you never thought you'd be able to have. There's no better feeling in the world than that.
No, I 100% agree with that. When I was in management, anytime a technician would text me, anything that's like life-changing like that for him or his family or his wife, it was just made my whole day. So I
makes it all worth it.
It does. And that kind of just like leads us into our my last question for you. So you've been here for 15 years. You started in electrical as an apprentice. Were you licensed?
No, I was licensed.
Licensed. Then you went to HVAC. You went to install.
Yeah, I went to HVAC install for a couple months. Then went to maintenance,
service.
And then to service sales.
Yeah. So you've been here for that long, and you still wake up every day motivated to go work at Milestone.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Maybe it's time for change. I've been doing the same thing every day for 15 years, showing up to the same building, same people, same. What's your why?
Like I was saying a while ago, I want to try to help other people reach their potential. But for me, man, like what Mark and Gus built and the culture that they built, it changed my life. So my sole purpose is to make sure that we keep that culture as best I can. Obviously your dad's a little bit more hard-nosed. So I think I'm a good mix between both Mark and Gus. Like I'm a technician at heart, but also I'm a little bit of a softie in a lot of ways. So being able to carry that torch and make sure that we're doing things the Milestone way and making sure that we don't ever lose sight of that. Yeah, impacting guys. That's it.
I love that, and out of everyone I respect that. Anyone who wants to help take care of Milestone and build the culture and keep it around, I want them here forever. So
I don't plan on leaving.
That. Yes, sir. Well, I thank you for joining us today and allowing me to do this interview with you and taking the time out of your day. I know you're busy. Summertime's about to start. The wheels are about to start spinning a little faster. So,
just a little.
Thank you for giving me a couple minutes of your day. It truly is a blessing to have you part of the team and have you on our very first episode of the Milestone Podcast. Hopefully we'll have many more of these in the future, so stay tuned. If you liked the episode, go ahead and like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.